Good afternoon and welcome back to the latest edition of Girlie Giggles. As you can quite clearly see, it is just myself and Maxine today. It is Monday the 2nd of August and we are Donnaless for today. So we will bring you up to speed and, you know, when Don Dons is going to be coming back soon. But it's lovely to be back with you. Like, I'm so excited. I've done so many videos today and I'm buzzing and I'm firing on all cylinders. So I hope this video is received well to each of you. Maxine, I've missed you.
Oh, I missed you too, my love.
It's been a really interesting 2.5 weeks, hasn't it?
Is that how long it's been? 2.5 weeks?
2.5 weeks.
Wow. God, it doesn't seem like that. We haven't even spoken since. We've only messaged, haven't we?
No,
God, that's gone quick. Not for you, obviously, but for me.
I don't know. Now, looking back, it went very, very quick. And I'll be honest with you, Maxine, I enjoyed it. I had to sleep. I had to just rest. I had to not be on my phone. And as weird as that was, it was so beautiful. Like,
I just can't imagine you. I just can't imagine you sleeping for that length of time. I've stayed in places with you. It doesn't happen. 2 o'clock in the morning to bed, up at 5. Morning. Yeah, there's no rest.
But what's so interesting is for about, I don't know, a month or 6 weeks before, I kept saying to yourself and Donna and people that are close to me, I'm going to burn out again. I'm going to burn out again. Like, I know I'm going to burn out again. I'm doing so much and I know I'm going to burn out. And I called it in. I was tired. I was, you know, in a space of vulnerability. I was getting, you know, like taking too much on, spinning too many plates. And
going on dates.
I'm grateful. Yeah, I was. I'm grateful as anything for this experience, because first and foremost, a bit like what we were saying offline, is we know that we can recover from it. But secondly, obviously with the platform that I have, I can now help people get prepared for it, what to do if it happens. You know, and I think that that is such a beautiful gift to be able to share with people, you know, total strangers, you know. And so when we were speaking offline, you were sharing when you had it back in December of 2019. So do you just want to share with people a little bit about that before we do post office antics and what we've been up to?
Right. So yes, I got it December 2019. So it was the 19th of December. I'd felt a bit tired just before, but obviously really busy in the post office at Christmas. But then I literally couldn't get out of bed. So every part of my body ached. And I don't get that. Obviously, I look after myself. I've had you in my life for 4 years. You know, I don't get ill. And I dragged myself to work, and people were saying, look, you don't look well. And I said, I don't know what's wrong. I just don't feel right. So I'm just going to go to bed early tonight, you know, stock up on the old water, extra supplements. By the Christmas Eve, I was so ill. I was sat outside. Can you hear me? Actually, I've just got to. Let me take my earphones out. It's repeating on me.
Okay.
There we go. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Bro. Let me turn that up. Oh God! You know, you've disappeared. Bloody phone. There we go. Yeah, so I was sat outside. I couldn't get my breath. So every time you take a deep breath, and I used to always sit outside and take deep breaths in the morning, but I couldn't seem to get it. And my neighbour had just come back from work, and he's a paramedic, and I was explaining to him, and he said, oh, there's loads of these bugs going round. Bugs, take note, that's what he called them. He said, I've got a nebulizer in my car, that'll do it. So he put me on his nebulizer for about 10, 15 minutes, and it cleared. It was perfect. And I thought, I can cope with this. But then when I got inside, I literally couldn't move. It was like somebody took over. All my bones hurt.
Yeah.
And so I went to bed and I didn't get up until, so that was the Thursday. I didn't get up until the Tuesday.
Yeah.
And literally my daughter was just bringing me veg through the blender for me to try and keep some food down, and just gallons and gallons of water.
Yeah.
But it lasted, that would have been 2 weeks. It took me another week to be able to face society.
Yeah.
It was honestly, it's horrendous. But we do get over it.
Yeah, very interesting, because I was very similar. I had such a heavy like flu feeling. My bones were hurting, my skin was hurting and sensitive, the backs of my eyes were hurt. Like literally, it was like the worst flu that I've ever had. Because I've only ever had proper flu once before. Like people say, oh, I've got the flu. No, when you've had flu, it hurts every single part of your body. And that was probably 10, 15 years ago that I had that. So
I last had flu, I was 32.
Oh, blimey.
That was the one age, and I didn't know I had it, but it was when I went to the doctor because I couldn't cope, and he said, oh, you've got the flu. And that was so painful, that was.
Yeah, well, this, to me, was very similar to the flu, how it started anyway. But then about 4 or 5 days in, I got this real heaviness in my chest, a bit like what you were talking about. But it felt as if somebody was like pressing down on my chest, and I physically couldn't breathe properly. And the way that I've been explaining it to people is it was like a 20 kilo weight, the plates in the gym, like that on my chest, or like a 20 kilo kettlebell, something like that was just very isolated in the area that it was in, but it was just pressing down so hard. And I'll be honest, and I'd love it if you could say whether this resonates with you, but I panicked. I was panicking with this breathing. I wasn't panicked enough to call 999 or anything like that, because I knew what was going on. Like, I really knew what was going on, but it was scary. And I can see why people would go to the hospital. I can completely understand why people would go to the doctors and stuff about this stuff, because it hurt.
But I had mine in 2019. So before I knew something was coming, because obviously we'd had this conversation before. You'd given me all the gen since 2018 that there'd be a lot of people disappearing.
Yeah.
But I don't go to, I literally have to have my leg hanging off to go to the hospital or the doctors. And please, I'm not calling that in. That's just
Me too. I have to be like almost bled out.
Yeah, like you. Yes. Blues and twos outside, 4 ambulances. Lucy, you've got to go, get off the phone. That one, yeah. Put the phone down. You're bleeding from everywhere. But I didn't panic because it wasn't on the news. It wasn't a major pandemic when I got it.
Yeah, see, that wasn't why
by the time it got to that in March, if people then got what I had, instead of trying to heal, they panicked, which is why they then 999 everything else.
See, I didn't panic because I thought, oh my God, I've got the Rona. I didn't.
I didn't think I got that.
Wasn't it at all. I was just like, I can't freaking breathe. Like, I can't breathe right now.
That was the worst thing, was the breathing.
Yeah, and I thought to myself, I'm miles away from home. I don't know anybody near me. What on earth am I going to do? Like, what's going to happen to me, kind of thing. And it was that element. But I forced myself outside to ground every day. I forced myself, a bit like what you said, outside to breathe every day. I was very lucky that it was very hot the first week where I got sick, and I just went and sat out in the sun for like 20-minute periods. Or there was one day where I sat outside for about an hour because I felt well enough to sit. But then the rest of the time I was just cooped up in bed because I was so poorly.
Yeah, mine was just the fact I had no energy. I mean, I didn't panic because I knew I'd be able to heal, obviously, but the breathing was the worst thing, because I think I had it for about 3 days. And then this one particular day, like you said, it was like a weight, which is why I went and sat outside. It was freezing cold and I was burning.
Yeah.
Because my daughter said, Mum, where's your slippers and dressing gown? I'm outside in just like a vest top and a pair of shorts. Yeah. Everybody else, the heating's on in here, everything. And I went and sat outside and I said, I'm not cold, but I was still shivering.
Yeah.
And he popped me on the nebulizer and it did clear. And I could feel it clearing every day. But then it was just the whole, literally wiped out. I've never been so tired in my entire life.
Absolutely. And it was the fluctuation of the temperatures. It was the coldness and the aching of the bones and the skin. And it was, from my perspective, and I know I'm actually going to be tested on Friday of this week to see if I've got the antibodies. It's just a pinprick on the finger. So I said that I would go in and do that. But I had respiratory flu.
Yeah.
That's what I had. That is what was wrong with me. I had the flu. It then turned into something respiratory, and you can almost hear it a little bit in my voice now and in my nose now. It's like I've got a cold. I don't. Yeah. My nose isn't running or whatever, but I've just got this little resonance that is carrying over. But I feel fabulous. Honestly, I can't get over how amazing I feel today. And yesterday I felt amazing as well. Do you get what I mean? Like, I'm back. Yeah. I'm back. I feel like I'm back. I feel completely alive. And you know, YouTube probably won't like this, but I think there's proof in the pudding. You can recover.
Yeah.
You can recover from this. You just got to look after yourself. You've got to know the right things to do. And I am actually going to
take the rest that you need.
Yeah, absolutely.
If your body's saying rest, you have to, even if it's 5 days, you have to take it.
Yeah.
Because when you recover, then like you come bouncing back. Yeah. You fought it all.
Yeah. And I literally, for 2 weeks, I was having naps, or I was sleeping, or I would, like, the first week, I would say I slept probably 80-90% of the time. The second week, I would do stuff. You know, I would do stuff. I'd go out for a walk or whatever, but then I'd have to have a sleep.
Well, you see, I was still working.
See, Max, I couldn't have gone to work.
I don't even know how I got on the road, but I literally sat down. You had to get me a chair, and I had to sit at this counter, and my customers had to do it all for me. Luckily, we weren't busy because it was after Christmas.
Yeah.
But everybody that came, and I said, look, whatever you want, just put the money there, I'll give you the change. And I got this slidey chair going from the post office to the shop, because otherwise I wouldn't have made it. And I drove to work, and it's less than a minute's walk.
Yeah,
I wouldn't have made it back down the hill.
I literally cancelled, as you know, because, you know, you're in my community, I cancelled all of my calls bar my membership call, and that's on a Sunday evening. Other than that, I did none of them. I did none of them. I just wasn't prepared to do it. I couldn't, to be honest with you. It took every ounce of my energy out of me to do that one call every Sunday. You know, so...
Well, if I'd have got other staff, I wouldn't have gone to work. I would have taken the whole time out.
Yeah, of course.
But obviously, there's no other staff there. I couldn't let the customers down.
No.
But they were really good. My customers were great to me.
And
they helped. They even stocked up shelves.
Isn't it funny how that was in December? This all kicked off in March 2020, and all of a sudden it became a massive pandemic.
Yeah.
You know, which is interesting. Anyway, I think we've done enough of talking about our sickness and disease riddenness that we were. I just to bring into everybody's consciousness, I am going to be doing like a 5-minute video to share what I did. And how I made certain things and how I basically healed myself. So do keep your eye out on that. I'm probably going to call it something crazy. Yesterday I said I was going to call it Juicy Lucy, but I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to call it. It's not going to be obvious that it's to do with this, because obviously it will get blocked. Obviously, they don't want this message getting out. But I'm going to share with you everything that I did. Everything, literally.
No, because they've blocked so many people for putting that out.
Yeah, so I have to be very careful with the way that I'm putting it, and certainly the title of the videos and stuff, because I've not been on YouTube much recently. I'm not getting a lot of traffic through my YouTube right now. It takes time to build back up. You know what it's like, it's the algorithms and stuff. So but it will come, and that information will be there for people as and when they're ready for it, you know, because we got to start prepping for this winter.
Yeah.
We've really got to start prepping for this winter. Not that I even believe we're in summer.
No, not today.
What happened to
a lot of my friends have gone on holiday this week.
What has
coming back next week.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. From next Monday, you'll be fine.
Right.
You'll be back perfectly tanned again.
I know. I'm like, where has my tan gone? I miss it. And to be honest, I mean, I won't go into it much here, but I might not be here at the end of next week.
No.
Just throwing that out there, you know, just popping that into people.
So it'll just be me on Monday?
No, I'll be there, but I might not be in this country.
Not sitting where you are now.
No, definitely won't be sat here, but you never know. I might still be in the UK, but God knows where it will be. And then, yeah, who knows where I will be the week after that. Just throwing it out there. Anyway, how's things been going at the post office, my love? Everybody loves your post office update. So we've got a couple of weeks to catch up on.
All right. So, the young, the Cougar crush, you know, the young 30-year-old who came in for the baby wipes. So he came in again, had a little chat with him. I said, you know, what do you do for a living? And he said, oh, I'm a mechanic. He said, so if you want your car fixing, I said, well, actually, I've got a really good mechanic. He said, but thanks for that. Anyway, he told me where he lived in case I needed him for the car. And I thought, oh, a friend of mine who I went to school with lives on that road.
Oh, no. So
2 hours later, the same day, this lady walks in, who I knew. I went, oh, I was just talking to somebody you know on your road. This guy. And she went, yes, it's my son. I said, oh, right. So I went to school with this woman all my life, and that's her son. She said, yes, and he's asked you out, hasn't he?
I know someone who lives on there. I knew instantly that it was going to be the mother.
I just never thought. But you see, I mean, I see her quite often and say hello to her, but I didn't realise what children she got. So yes, that's her son. I said, look, I didn't say yes before you come in, you know, and start throwing darts at my head. She went, no, it's fine. She said, but he is too young for you. I said, it's fine. You being his mother's put me off enough. Thank you very much. I didn't get on with her at school either.
Oh my gosh.
So then I have been out on a date with the guy twice.
Oh.
Yes, but there won't be a third.
Oh, why? Come on, talk to us about the date. Where did you meet him?
So, really nice guy, lovely smile, really friendly, just moved to the area.
Nice.
Very complimentary. Came in a few times, and he said, you know, do you fancy going out for a drink? So I said, right, I don't do pubs. I said, certainly not around here. I don't want to drive too far in case I get lost. So why don't we do a coffee? Because I thought daylight, loads of people, don't know anything about you, just moved to the area.
Yeah.
So lovely, really nice guy, got on really well with him, had a nice time. So then he said, I'll take you out for a meal.
Oh, that's nice.
So went to this really nice place out in the country, sat outside, got me a glass of wine, really nice meal, great conversation. But there's something I just can't get my head round. As we were talking towards it, I didn't have a drink at this one. I'd have a glass of wine, then we sat having food, and it was like probably about 11 o'clock at night, and I was getting tired. And I said, right, should we make a move? He said, oh, the night is early. And I went, whoa, get out, not having that conversation. But then driving home, I didn't feel comfortable.
Right.
Because obviously he picked me up and brought me home. And there was just something, he sort of changed towards the end of the night.
Oh,
but then I did think, hang on, it could be me with my old, you know, frigidity, staying in the house all this time.
Frigidity-doo-dah.
But then he sort of messaged me since, and I've not liked the messages. Right. So he's gone. Okay. What else is happening in post office? Well, we've had 4 deaths in 2 weeks. Yeah. I've been at that post office for 15 years, on and off, in between other jobs. And we're lucky, you know, it's been sort of, we'd know somebody was dying probably 2 a year, and they'd be in their 90s. So the youngest was 46.
Blimey.
The eldest one, who died yesterday, was 74. Yeah, all. Oh. Yeah, not great. Oh. In 2 weeks.
Wow. And when did they have this? Over the how
the youngest one had it, did he say? He had his second one 3 weeks ago. Oh, became violently sick, rash, completely covered in a rash all over his body, and his both his feet swelled up really, really bad. Shame. Because his sister came and said, oh, he's really not well. And she said, you know, he's got these massive swollen feet. And he didn't have the rash in the day, but when it got to the evening, it would just suddenly appear. She says, and he's just sitting crying. Oh, and then he died. He had a blood disorder.
Oh, God.
And she said, oh, we obviously didn't know about it before. I said, we probably don't have it before, but, you know, I couldn't say that to her. No. And then the other guy, he had both of them quite early. He was 74. Yeah. But he, where did he go? He went away for a weekend to see his daughter. And when he came back, he said he didn't feel very well.
Right.
And then he started to get these big red blotches on his hands. And I remember him coming in the shop to get milk. And I said, oh, what have you done to your hand? He said, I don't know, they've just appeared. But on one hand, didn't go up his arm, but they were really like purpley red.
Oh, shame.
And the last time I saw that was a guy who had leukemia.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so he's gone now. I haven't seen, a neighbour told me, so I haven't seen any of the family to find out. And then who was the other one? They're all men, by the way. All men that died. I haven't had any women die yet. All men. But they're all starting to get ill.
That's a lot in one shop in 2 weeks.
2 weeks. And we're not busy. We're not a busy shop. We're just a local shop. Yeah. So we have regular customers. Yeah. But, you know, 4 in 2 weeks. And one had died, obviously, before the last Girlie Giggles. He'd had a massive heart attack. Yeah. And I think he was 40. And he'd had both of them straight away. But now I'm finding that the ladies that are coming in, so the men seem to be getting these things. Yeah. The ladies that come in are asthmatic. They're all starting to suffer really bad with asthma. Yeah, which they haven't had before. And one lady had her first one. She's not going back for the second one because she hasn't been able to breathe properly since. Oh, sugar. Yeah. Oh. So she's not going. She says, I daren't have the next one. I said, well, I wouldn't have it until you know you feel a little bit better. In fact, come and tell me when you're going. I'll take you. Because I want to see how long it takes for either the asthma to clear or it doesn't. Yeah. But yeah, really pretty bad. I'm just trying to think what else I've got to tell you. Wow, that's so interesting, isn't it? That's such an interesting. I mean, at the moment, the kids, because obviously Sophie's a teacher, kids are all coming down with tonsillitis. Interesting. And it's not in one small part, it's all over the country. A week before they broke up for the holidays. And there's loads of them. Everyone I speak to is tonsillitis in the children. Yeah. And what's so interesting is there's a lot of people like late 20s upwards that have come down with what I've had over the last few weeks. I'd say in the last 3 to 4 weeks, I've heard more people having this than I ever did through 2020. Yeah. Well, George is 18 on Friday. Blimey. And I thought they were only doing the 18 up. Have they started doing between 16 and 18 now? Because he got his letter. Oh, wow. And he came and he said, Mum, I'm not even 18 yet. And look, I've got a letter. I said, what are you doing with it? And he said, I'm just going in the garden to set fire to it. Wow. But I thought it was 18 and over. So they've obviously gone down a bit because he was 17 when he got it. No, I feel that it's 16 up now. Well, they got that letter out quick then, didn't they? He hasn't been to the doctor since he was 11. You know, they've been doing, or they opened up a centre at Thorpe Park. Park. Literally, it lasted a day. It lasted a day. So God knows what went on, but apparently there was a lot of complaints from parents and stuff. So, which is really good, that the fact that people are clubbing together and actually getting things down. Apparently it lasted one day. I don't know whether that's true or not. Obviously, I haven't been there myself. I can't say that I've witnessed it firsthand, but that's the information that has been given to me, is that it lasted one day. Well, we had, you know, my lovely headmaster, who looks like him off Dirty Dancing. Yes. School closed on Tuesday was the last day. Wednesday morning, I went for a walk round before I went to work, and they'd opened it up as a centre. So I moved the sign, big triangle sign. And I was walking down, I went, no, this can't be happening. And there's like a hedge, and it was in front of the hedge, you know, the entrance. So I took that and I put it right behind the community centre. And then I walked a bit further up, and there was another one that it looks like somebody drove their car into. Because it obviously was nice and neat, and it's literally completely different. You can't read what it says. You can see a C and you can see an E at the end, but you can't see anything else. Oh, wow. Yeah, so they'd opened the school, and that headmaster said he wasn't doing any of that. I little sod. So, yes, so he opened up the school for that. But that's closed again. That was 2 days. Wow. And the signs aren't there now, so I'm assuming it was only 2 days. But they are opening up the school a week early before they reopen in September, supposedly for exam results.
You mean to jab all the kids?
Yes, exam results are one day. I've had it with both of mine. It's open one day, and you have to pick a time to go in, go and get your results, sort out what you need to do. No, it's actually open the week before. So I should be there removing the triangle signs.
Whatever.
And I'm hoping I see the dirty dancing Pratt that's there, because honestly, he needs removing from that school.
Wow, this is so fascinating. You know, and I want to call it, you know, I've had some really amazing conversations today, but what I would really like to bring into people's consciousness is whether you agree or not, just start doing research on things, because people that are not researching, people that are not looking for the truth, people that are being cognitive dissonant and pretending that it's not happening, you're holding us back.
Oh, yeah.
But like, also, I can't put it any more blunt than that. You are holding humanity back now.
But also, do you want to actually die? Do you know what I mean? This is how serious it is. Have a look at the research, everything. Don't just jump straight on a Facebook post going, oh, all these people, which was happening. You know, look at why different people are putting different things. I mean, the most thing that they're putting on Facebook at the moment is a picture of a guy in hospital with all the tubes saying his last words as he was dying was, I wish I'd had the vaccine. Oh, this guy couldn't speak. He got a tube in his throat. How did he manage to speak? Did he write it? It's
such propaganda.
But it's every day. But the one good thing is, because I'm having a look at the comments now, and 90% of the comments are, please, will you stop with this? How did he manage to say that with the tube in his throat? All the things we think, people are starting to wake up. So when it appears, I just go, another one, let's see how many are awake. Another one, let's see how many are awake. Because there's one woman who, I looked into her. She put how ill she'd been, which is why she was going to get it, because she needed to survive. She was a reporter for that newspaper.
Yeah. Well,
she didn't realise we could find her.
This is the interesting thing, right? I saw, I think Ariana Grande, one of my followers sent me a picture of Ariana Grande yesterday in her mask, basically saying, go and get it. And this guy messaged me and he's like, I'm so freaking angry, Lucy. Like, I'm so angry about this. And I went and read some of the comments. And there was a lady on there, and she said something along the lines of, I'm so proud of you for doing this. I was so poorly with it, and I this and I that. And I wrote it and then I deleted it because I thought, Lucy, just step away. Yeah. But I basically just put, I've literally just recovered from it.
Yeah.
So
perfectly well.
Get a grip. Yes, it was painful. Yes, I didn't like it. Yes, I wish I hadn't had it. But at the same time, I'm so freaking grateful for having it, because now I know what they are pushing this thing for doesn't stack up in my mind. So my intuition, it's almost like I've been validated not to get it.
Yeah.
You know?
You see, that's why I was grateful I had it when I did.
Yeah.
Because when it all started to come out, I was prepared for all the garbage they were going to talk about.
Yeah.
And I told a lot of people, you know, I survived it all, but you looked ill. Yes, but now look at me.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm a different person now because I lived through that. It was obviously sent to me for a reason.
Yeah.
And so I can advise other people, which I have been doing. But the worst thing that's happened just recently in the post office, I have to tell you this, is so the 19th of July, you can remove the nappy. So the people who didn't used to wear one, who used to have a laugh with, you know, hug them, smile at them, everything, decided to start wearing one. In the first week, I had more people walk in with one of those on.
Really?
And one lady came, I couldn't hear what she was saying. She wanted to take some cash out. And I said, I'm sorry, not with that on. She said, how dare you? I said, I can't hear what you're saying. And if I make a mistake, I have to put that money in. So remove it and tell me what you want to do. But yeah, loads of people. I mean, this week, not so bad. Today, hardly anybody.
Wow.
You know, and I said, you don't need to wear one yet. There are no signs, apart from my smiley face outside, which keeps being removed. I've had to make 10. And they say, oh, to be on the safe side. I said, there is no one else in the shop behind you. There is no one near you. And I'm behind this plastic screen, which doesn't help when there's a heat wave. So the quicker I get this down, the quicker I'll be able to breathe properly. Or, well, you know, so they're now wearing one. I think, but you watch the news all the time. You wore one all that time. Now you're wearing it again. Oh, got to be on the safe side. You don't go anywhere else.
No, the thing is that they're ramping up the fear around all these variants, and they've got no way of distinguishing a variant from another variant. It's just,
well, no, where's the test for that one?
It's utter rubbish. But the thing is, I think we spoke about this previously. The thing is I know that they're bringing out a new test in September. I know that they are, because I've been told by the company that make the PCR tests that they are bringing out a new test in September, October time. So that's why they've started slating the existing one to make way for this all singing, all dancing, you know, and that's what's happening right now. It's distraction. We're going to give you this so that you don't see what's going on over here. And quite frankly, people need to wake the heck up and start recognising and start looking around every direction.
It's not like there's not enough information out there.
No.
Do you know what I mean? At the beginning, I could understand, you know, we were conspiracy theorists, you name it.
But it's all coming true.
We worked hard to get to where we were health-wise. We weren't going to allow something to come and destroy us.
No, but
there were enough people.
All you need
enough
to
information
do
they didn't want to look.
Exactly. All you need to do is go back and have a look at all the things that were being spoken about at the beginning, about the jab passports, things like that. They're all coming true. So was it really a conspiracy?
Mm.
And this is where we need to have a reality check. If you are one of these people out there that banned that bloody word around left, right, and centre, it's because you've got cognitive dissonance. You're not prepared to see the truth. Like, get a fucking grip.
I had a nurse, and a GP's nurse, come in. She'd never been in my shop before. I knew she was real, you know, the mask was tight. Looked like, you know, Jim Carrey's The Mask film. And I said, oh, you don't have to wear one now. She went, well, you should be wearing one. I thought, here we go. So I served her with a parcel. And she said, if you worked in my job, you'd be scared. I said, not many things scare me. Walking late at night down a dark twitcher is about it. I said, or if the power goes out and I can't find a torch. But then again, I'll feel my way around. I know my way around the house. She said, we're dreading it. Come September, when the flu comes. So I said, oh, it's coming back. Is it making a comeback? And she went, it never went anywhere. I said, no one has died of it in 18 months. She said, well, people are allowed out now, so it's going to come back. I said, but we've been allowed out for quite a while now, and I haven't seen anyone. Oh, is that the new thing you're going to be giving out? She said, we didn't have it because we were in lockdown. I said, you might have been. But look how many people were in London walking. Disgraceful behaviour, absolute disgraceful shit. And those people that say it doesn't exist. I said, look, do you want to just pay for your parcel, love, and get back to your GP surgery and keep charging the prescriptions that you do, because you give them out willy-nilly. People don't realise you get paid for it. Yeah. So she said, well, just to warn you, norovirus, is it? It was around ages ago.
Yeah.
Can you make sure, this is the best thing, can you make sure you wash your lettuce? I said, well, to be fair, I used to call my vagina my lettuce years ago. So I will make sure I wash it when I get home. Yeah, wash your lettuce and raspberries. That's what she said. Nothing else, because that's how you catch it. From a lettuce, a dirty lettuce, or a dirty raspberry.
Wasn't norovirus the one that used to go around the hospitals?
I don't know, but she said it makes you really sick. It's like a food poisoning. And that's coming back. I said, oh, can you give me the date? I'll put it on the calendar.
Isn't it interesting how they know that all this stuff is going to make a comeback?
And flu is September. It's coming back in September. I said, well, but flu season is like October to February. She went, oh, it's changed this year. It'll be here in September. Oh, right, it's coming early. Yeah. And the people that were in the queue behind her were laughing their head off.
Because it's been away for 18 months, Max. It wants to come back early.
It's been pushing to get back in.
It's perfectly in alignment with everything that I've been talking about.
But you've said September. You've said September for ages.
From the get-go.
Yeah. So we've got all those. So wash your lettuce. But years ago, my friend used to call her vagina her lettuce, because when you went to the loo in a pub, if there was no tissue, she'd come out and say, oh, I've had to shake my lettuce, you know, to come back out. So when she said wash your lettuce, I couldn't stop laughing.
Yeah,
I thought, that's what I used to call my vagina, love. So yeah, I wash it regularly, thank you. And then raspberries.
Isn't it interesting?
Yeah. I need to video. I mean, I've got the videos. I need to put volume on the videos and just play them to you, because you wouldn't believe some of the conversations.
I actually can, Maxine. I'm really shocked that highly intelligent people, or hang on, let me rephrase that. People that appear to be highly intelligent, i.e. they've gone through university and they've gone through a lot of education, who we class as intelligent people, but they're not. They've read books. That's where their intellect has come from. There is a serious issue with common sense. How can somebody who works in a GP surgery or a GP turn around and say, oh yeah, flu just disappeared for 18 months, but it's coming back in a couple of months' time?
Yeah, it's coming back September.
How can anybody in their right mind have that conversation with anybody?
But it was the specific time that blew me, because if you said, oh, likely chance of flu this year, that's a different conversation. Yeah. But she said flu back in September, we're expecting it in September. Or is that when the bus is coming in, the bus load of flu, and then this norovirus? But it's like, I've got a law degree, I studied law, but you don't sort of walk into court and know what to say. You pick it up from other people.
Exactly.
All the time, you pick up how they deal with the situation. So if I've got three cases in front of me, I will have already heard something similar, and I will just apply whichever law to it.
Yeah.
But it's what you pick. You have to learn it. You can't just learn it from books. No. And she will be listening to everybody else she's working with.
Of course. And the powers that be, the partners of her GP surgery, would be saying, oh yeah, this is coming in September. Why? Because they know that it's coming back in September. They know that people are going to be dropping like flies come September. They're already dropping like flies.
Oh yeah.
You know, why do you think there's
4 in 2 weeks?
Yeah, this huge manipulation in weather. Why do you think that's been taking place? You know?
Oh yeah, and then a lot of my old people used to always say, you know, they come in with the sniffs. I say, oh, you're all right. Yeah, well, it's changing weather. Always get a cold. Whether it goes from hot to cold or cold to hot. And look how many different weather changes we've just had.
Yeah, of course. It's been cold.
Yeah.
It's been cold here in the UK, and it's summer. But the week that I was poorly, it was like, the first week I was poorly, it was like 30 degrees.
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
You know, it's like, what's going on?
Yeah.
And this morning when I was walking, it was 12 degrees. 12.
Yeah, I think it was about 17 here this morning, which isn't too bad. Yeah.
It's just ridiculous.
But like this morning was 24 degrees. Now, outside, it looks like it's going to throw it down with rain. It's really cloudy. It's still 17. Yeah, this morning was bright sunshine, but it's still 17 on the thermometer. Yeah. But it's not cold. I mean, I've got every window open. There's no breeze.
Yeah, it's there's just a huge manipulation with the weather taking place. There really is, and anybody that can't see that is crazy. The clouds don't look like clouds. It's just massive bubbles of chemicals, from my perspective. You know,
they don't move the same either.
No, they don't.
I remember what clouds look like. I used to often lay on the grass and look up at the clouds. Yeah. Now I'm looking at a painting that someone's drawn. Yeah. Childlike, I have to say, in some places. Yeah. But yeah, it's just not the same.
Exactly.
But the other thing was the council guy who started coming in the shop. I was talking about my garden and how I was got to go home and dig up some weeds. I said, I've got these same weeds keep coming through the grass. I said, oh, well, we've got a new weed killer now. He said, otherwise I could have given you some. He said, but this is proper stuff and it's sealed. Because he works for Parks and Recreation, and he said we've all had to have training on it because it's so powerful.
Yeah.
So you're going to put that in the parks during the summer holidays? And he said, oh, we've already sprayed it. We've already had men out spraying it before the summer holidays. So I said, don't you do schools as well? He said, oh yeah, we do those the last 2 weeks in August before the kids go back. I said, and will you be spraying that? He said, yeah, we always do it. We always spray weed killer because little weeds pop up on the grass. Well, the kids don't plough the grass. They're barred from going on the grass, they're all fenced off. But yeah, they're going to be spraying it. And it's in these, he said it's in massive containers. Because a couple of years ago, he gave me some weed killer for my back garden. And it was sort of in a little thing like that. You just have to put it in your own, but you always wear gloves. He said, we have to wear proper chemical something gloves for this weed killer in
Wow.
case we touch it, but it's on a machine. So
Yeah.
when they mow the grass, it sprouts it out. So it's going to go in the air.
You're the second person to talk to me about weed killer in the last 24 hours.
Really?
Yeah, because you know me, I talk a lot about the chemicals in the sky, the ones that come down, the ones
They're
that
coming
invert
down, yeah.
in our skin and things like that. But you're the second person to speak to me about weed killer in the last 24 hours. So, you know, and as you know, any time I get one or two people talking to me about something, I'm like, oh, that's obviously there to come into my consciousness. Like, guys, we've got to look after ourselves.
Because they're actually putting it not just from the sky now. The local council, you wouldn't think anything of it because they always mow the grass.
Yeah.
They're always there on the big machines, but now they're attaching the weed killer to it.
Yeah.
As people are walking their dogs, their kids. Wrong, completely wrong.
This is not good, is it? It's not.
But they don't realise what they're doing.
No.
To them, it's just a job.
Their intentions are so pure. They're just doing what they've been paid to do or what they've been told they've got to do, when actually it's damaging people.
Well, I did say that to him, and he went, I've been doing it for years. I said, but why the new weed killer? Why, after all these years, do we need this one?
Yeah.
And he said, well, because there's some strange weeds coming up.
Oh, boy.
So I said, no, we've had them for years, but we had the right weather. We used to have seasons. We don't have seasons anymore.
No.
We have Monday, Tuesday, Friday, Sunday, and, you know, April. So I said, but I don't understand why suddenly we've got to have this lethal weed killer out in the school holidays, and you're going to do it at the school, well, a week before they go back then, because they're opening it the week before, aren't they?
Yeah. So
how bizarre.
Yeah.
Yeah, timing.
Yeah, so they're getting all the kids to go back whilst that's in the air.
Yeah.
So that they can get sick in readiness for this flu season that's coming in September.
September. Perfect. Yeah.
Hey, we're just conspiracy theorists.
Yeah.
You know, what do we
haven't
know?
got a clue.
What do we know? What do we know? Oh, Max, it's so good to speak to you. It's so
and you, my love. So glad to have you back.
It's been beautiful to just be back and having these conversations. So I know you and I said at the start of this, obviously before we came online, we said that next week we're going to look back at some of the 2018 memories.
Yeah.
So ladies and gents, a lot of you fell in love with Maxine when we did our Instagram live a long time ago. I can't do Instagrams with people anymore because Instagram don't like me. They cut my videos. So we're actually going to look back through some of the notes that Maxine made back on my journey in 2018. I think 2018 was probably one of the biggest years of my life for channeling information. It's when Princess Diana came through to me. It's when all of the information about the kids came through to me. It's when I ended up traveling around. I ended up back in Sydney. I ended up in Vietnam, in Cambodia, in Perth, in Singapore, in all of these incredible places. I think it was either the start or the end of that year that I was in Guatemala and my sweet nephew got killed, you know, and I'm just like, 2018 was like a bomb in life for myself in a good way. Obviously there were some tragic things that happened, but now I look back, I completely get why everything had to happen. So we're going to look back at Maxine's journals and we're going to have a really beautiful conversation about that next week. Obviously we will give you an update because I'm now back in the land of the living and I can share some of the things that are going on in my world. Maxine will obviously share the post office antics, and then
how many times I got arrested in a week.
Yeah, right. So we're gonna share that with you next week. So if you have any questions, please do remember to submit them. I still haven't figured out this Zoom to YouTube so that we could do it as a live, because I would prefer to do these as live videos because then we can just chat to people as we're going. So I will reach out to Zoom again and ask them what that basically looks like and how we do that, because I feel it's because I've got two different email accounts and I probably just need to send that information, but I need to figure that out. And basically get that done. So Maxine, it's been wonderful to see you, my gorgeous girl. I absolutely love you so much. Thank you
Love
for
you
being
too.
here with me, and really, really, really looking forward to next week, my babe. All right.
Yeah,
Ladies
definitely.
and gents, I am going to post the energy update right here, right now, so that you guys can see what's happening this month, in the month of August. Lots of love, guys. We will see you super soon. Take care.